Welcome back to Kaalia. I've done a lot of updating lately on her, done a lot of major overhauls. I'm still working on her, considering putting in a Doomsday combo, among other things. But figured I'd show you the updates so far. She is focused heavily on 1 versus 1 using traditional commander rules, so 40 life. This is not a multiplayer deck, but it's not following the Frenchman list either, or the new MTGO 1v1 commander list. I will probably make a different version for that, and I'll get access to Gristlebrand and stuff. Excuse me, a little bit stuffed up this morning. I will probably work on another version of that at some point, but for now, this is my 1v1 traditional. Just going to put her off to the side. Alright, so I'm going to start off a little bit differently this time. First, we're going to go through my angels. We have Angel of Serenity, Avacyn. Baneslayer Angel is probably coming out of the deck. She's really good, but she just doesn't do enough for a really competitive build. She's fun, she's one of my favorite creatures, but she just doesn't do anything. Gisela, Iona, and Linvala. These are all the angels that I'm running. I do not run Aurelia because she's one of the worst creatures to cheat in with Kaalia. I do not run the Achromas because they don't actually push my game forward. I don't run Angel of Despair because it just destroys one thing. Just don't need them. This build is only running 19 creatures right now, not including Kaalia herself. I'm probably going to be cutting Baneslayer Angel, like I said. But I'm also probably going to cut 1 land for Weathered Wayfarer, so it may stay around 19. Unless I put in like a Doomsday combo, in which case it'll probably go up to, 22 with Hellcarver Demon, Mikaeus, and Triskelion. Onto the demons, I run 4. Blood Gift for draw, just because it's a 5-drop. It works. Master of Cruelties for that win button. Rakdos the Defiler for another win button. And Runescarred Demon. If I include Hellcarver Demon, I may also include Bloodspeaker, just because it's another way to tutor it out. And it tutors out all my demons. But that is if I include a Doomsday combo. I'm not exactly sure if I want to. I do have room to cut cards. Onto the dragons, I only run 3. Balefire Dragon, Hellkite Tyrant, and Steel Hellkite. I don't really see the need to run more than that. So that, if I counted right, is 12 creatures for Kaalia. I know it seems low, but I do have a fair amount of draw power, and I'm working it even more. Here are my tech creatures. Dark Confidant for draw power. Very good card. Especially in a build like mine that has such a low converted mana cost on average. Currently sitting at 2.94 online. Devoted Caretaker for extra protection. Mother of Runes. Just better than Devoted Caretaker, but, Grand Abolisher. Considering working in Silence and Orum's Chant as well. Sarah Ascendant. This comes out for Gristlebrand in the MTGO version, because Gristlebrand is allowed in that, and Sarah Ascendant is not. And you get down to 30 life anyway, so. And Stoneforge Mystic. I run 3 equipment right now, which you will see later. Alright, we're going to move on to the mana. I currently have 10 rocks in the build. So I may actually put a couple more in. Of course, we have all 3 signets. I'm using Chromatic Lantern. It's probably not all that good in here, actually, because I have good fixing as it is with my land base, and it's 3 mana. And 3 mana does not accelerate the way that a 2 mana rock does. So that may come out for a different rock. I'm actually considering Jeweled Amulet, just because it's really good turn 1. Felwar Stone, no drawback. Talisman of Indulgence has a drawback, but, it's still cheap. I really hope they finish out that cycle at some point. And playing Mox Opal as well, because I have 18 artifacts in the deck right now, so this is almost always live. And then Sol Ring, Mana Vault, and Mana Crypt. I'm running Cabal Ritual and Dark Ritual, just for burst mana. And now we're going to my lands. Between lands, the rituals, and the rocks, I have 45 mana sources. Like I said, I'm probably going to cut one land for Weathered Wayfarer, so I'm going to have 44. But I get a tutor for lands, so that kind of works out. First off, the shocks, or not shocks, the fetches. I'm running all 9 that I can. I have 9 targets for them. I've never run into an issue where having 9 fetches and only 9 targets has been, a thing, or has been a problem, because this deck is designed to win so quickly. I'm either going to win really quickly or I'm going to lose really quickly. That's just the way Kaalia is. She's a glass cannon. So, might as well increase the consistency. Here's my color fixing lands, or not really fixing, but just, lands that produce extra colors except for Urborg. And on to the tech lands, or colorless sources, like Ancient Tomb, Arcane Lighthouse, Cavern of Souls, of course, for Kaalia, Hall the Bandit Lord for Kaalia. This is probably the land I'm going to cut. I do like that you tap and pay red to give haste to a creature, but since I'm not running reanimation anymore, I don't really need extra haste. As long as Kaalia has it, I'm good to go. Homeward Path is another option to come out. The main reason I run it is I have one of the people I play with the most plays Bribery, and he often targets my Iona. So I'd like to get her back. Strip Mine, or a Stronghold and Wasteland. This is my recursion, that's all I need. And Crucible of Worlds combo. Alright, on to the draw. My draw package is a little bit thin. I'm trying to fit more in. Dark Tutelage, including Bob and Blood Gift Demon. So Dark Tutelage, Necropotence, Phyrexian Arena. I know Sensei's Divining Top isn't really draw, but, and Wheel of Fortune. Considering putting Ad Nauseam in here. I guess I'm considering putting Doomsday, which doesn't draw, but it just gets me all of my combo pieces. Considering Reforge the Soul, I don't really want to pay that much mana for them, but I do need the draw power. This is my tutor package, not including Runescarred Demon and Stoneforge Mystic. I forgot what I was saying for a moment. I would like to run more if I could find more that were decently cheap mana-wise. I had Dark Petition in here, but I don't know if 5 mana is worth it. But yeah, Steel Shaper's Gift may come out if I cut the Sword of Feast and Famine. I don't really want to cut it because I like getting those Greaves turn 1, but I gotta find things to cut here and there. If I could afford Imperial Seal and Grim Tutor, I would. I would totally put those in the deck. These are my cheat pieces. Crucible of Worlds, Sneak Attack, and Quicksilver Amulet. I'm testing out Sneak Attack. It may come out of the deck. Since I don't really have ways to recur things, it may end up being a bit of a double-edged sword. But I do have Volrath Stronghold and ways to tutor it out. So, it can work. And with a lower creature count, I'm not sure if I even need that anyway. These are my protection pieces, including the equipment. I'd like to put in God's Willing. I'd like to put in Silence, Orm's Chant, that kind of thing. That should be enough to keep Kaalia safe on the board. That's the thing. If she stays on the board and can connect with an opponent, chances are pretty high I'm going to win. And that's where my creatures are. If the creature doesn't either give me a perfect board state, or if it doesn't kill an opponent or anything like that, I'm probably not running it. Which is why I'm not running Angel of Despair. It's why I'm not running a Chroma or Aurelia. They don't do enough to push the game forward. This is my removal package. I want to put one more card in here. I have 9 right now. Which I'm making. This is incredible in 1v1. Because it doesn't target, and it exiles whatever permanent you want that an opponent controls. Nice Damnation. Mortify is becoming Return to Dust. I needed a little bit more artifact and enchantment removal. I want to keep Mortify in as well, because it's versatile. It gets rid of a creature or an enchantment. Classic Path, Swords, Deluge, TIE Fighter, Wear and Tear. I had Living Death in here as another Wrath effect, but I ended up cutting it just because I needed some room, and with less creatures, it's not going to have as much of an impact. And I'm not sending my own creatures to the graveyard anyway. If I was still using my reanimation package, then it would be worth running, but it's just not. Because this is 1v1 focused, I'm using Hand Disruption. So we have Duress, Inquisition of Kozilek, Mind Twist, and Thoughtseize. If I feel that all 4 are unnecessary, I may cut down to 3. And that will give me a little bit more room to work with. And the last 3 cards are win buttons. They're the classic Kaalia win buttons. You probably know what they are. Armageddon, Cataclysm, Armageddon 2.0, Ravages of War. The cards that are currently on the chopping block are Hanwara Battlements, Baneslayer Angel, Quicksilver Amulet, Sneak Attack, Sword of Feast and Famine, Stoneforge Mystic, because Steel Shaper's Gift is just better, even though I prefer Stoneforge Mystic, and Devoted Caretaker. The cards I'm considering adding in are Mortify, Jeweled Amulet. Okay, so Mortify after I cut it for Return to Dust. Jeweled Amulet, because it's good acceleration early on, and that's what this deck wants to do. It wants to win early. Lotus Petal, Ad Nauseam, because my deck has a very low converted mana cost on average. Like I said, it's 2.94 online right now, and if I can find a way to cut it down even further, I will. A Doomsday combo, which would be Hellcarver Demon, Mikaeus, the Unhallowed, and Triskelion. Reforge the Soul, maybe Skeletal Scrying, or another one-off draw piece. And I really want to try Yawgmoth's Will. Anyway, that is the current Kaalia deck. She's really getting up there, in my opinion, in terms of efficiency, in terms of sheer terror. At least, hopefully. I'm working on 4 other decks at the moment. Mael is pretty much done. I'm missing 2 cards or so for her, and then I will do a video on her. She's fun. She's designed more for silly games, for casual games, so keep that in mind whenever I make her video. I'm working on Joven still, just because I can. It's a silly deck. I'm working on Yidris Chaos. It's a Chaos deck mixed with like Wheel Tribal. And I'm working on Captain Sisay, a Paradox Engine Hate Bears build as my competitive multiplayer deck. And that should do it for me. I don't think I'm going to build any other decks after that. While I've still got this going, I figure I will show you all something that someone did for me. This is my Joven. I think it's pretty cool. I got someone to alt it for me. So, I really like that. I'm probably going to get another one done as well that makes Joven look like Abath from Immortal, or from Abath now. But yeah, that's the deck as it is right now. Let me know what you all think. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. Again, my Kaalia deck is designed for 1v1 games. Very streamlined, very aggressive, It's not designed to throw creatures on the board. It's designed to win when I attack. So, thank you very much.